Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Flash issue number 767. I'm reading this because Endless Winter Part 2. Okay, this was a pretty good book, and make no mistake, I do want to do this one at the same time, but it is still a very different book, so I'm going to make it two separate videos, but I'm going to try and keep them both short. Let's get started on this, all right? We got Endless Winter, Chapter 2, Lightning Strikes. Andy Lanning and Ron Mars are the writers. The artist is Clayton Henry, Marcelo Maiolo on colors. I'm screwing this up. Letters Steve Wands, and there's a bunch of other. I'm not going to get into all the artists in there. Flashback artists for the dude. Stop. Can one person just do everything? Is that a possibility? I don't know. Anyway, so bang, you got Teth Adam in this, Black Adam. Now, this is kind of important because this does actually continue not exactly where the previous issue left off, but it returns in a way that I remember what happened in the previous issue, and it all comes back to me quickly. That's important considering that there's no preamble. There's no forward in this. So you either got the last book and you remember everything like I did, or you just sit there and going, crap, I gotta find the book again. I gotta open it up. I gotta read it again. I gotta skim through it. Like, what happened? Because there wasn't really a lot of memorable stuff in that issue, right? Go here, somebody screws up, big ice monsters come at you. Wait, what? Oh, and there's Avengers of the past, but they're actually Justice League-ish. Okay, so who's the Phoenix Force? The exact same story that's happening in the Avengers currently at the time of this printing. So we see Hippolyta is here. We see the vegetable, that's Man-Thing. And we see Viking Prince, somebody who we don't see very often. Did I say Man-Thing? Swamp Thing, right? That should have been... Anyway, it's Swamp Thing. And we see Viking Prince, who is a very obscure character, yet he fits in this story. If you're not overly familiar with him, he's basically a character who, hi, I'm in love with a Valkyrie. I want to have sex with her. Oh, but Odin says that I can't. In fact, he says that the only way that I can is if I die honorably, then I can go and meet her again in Valhalla. But then he made me immune to mortal weapons. So he died later on in what Sergeant Rock's books, where Our Army at War, where he was killed by Plastique C4, which is basically, hi, that weapon didn't exist when Odin put that curse on you, so yay. So he got to go see, yeah. It's actually a pretty cool concept. If you want to collect that comic book, I definitely would, because, I don't know, I think that people don't usually think like this anymore in comics nowadays. The idea that landing in Mars would bring this character up, though, makes me feel better about the story. Why? Because this is an otherwise really boring story, but there are little parts in here that should keep you interested. It's a mystery. No, it's not one of those goofy mysteries like Bendis did not too long ago. The Leviathan storyline that, ooh, you could definitely figure this one out. No, we couldn't. No, we absolutely couldn't. And nobody wanted to because it was really boring, super boring. This... It's not that much more interesting, yet if you look for it, the minutia, you will find some things that will keep you occupied. Case in point, this whole thing revolves around the idea that while the heroes are all over the world trying to save people, including Beijing Superman, Hong Kong Superman, all right, Chinese Superman, I forget what they used to call him, but anyway, the new Justice League, we got to see like a panel with him. Yay! That was, at least we know he still exists, right? Flash is running around trying to figure things out when he gets a call, and he said, and John Stewart, who calls him brother, which just because he's black doesn't mean he's going to start calling everybody brother. In fact, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that would be a thing. I don't know. I don't remember ever reading that before. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. Just it really took me off. It took me out of the book for a second. He's like, all right, brother. I'm like, damn, did he have his one hand in his pocket and the other one on a cigarette with a big afro, and butterfly collar, and he was speaking jive the whole time? Like, wow. It struck me completely out of the blue. Did not expect that. That's just how that one hit me. But he says, listen, Black Adam just went to the UN and he just said, your Justice League better do something or else. And this just sounds stupid on the outset because we see that those three characters I just mentioned, Viking Prince, Hippolyta, and Swamp Thing, they were hanging out with Teth Adam back then. They were hanging out with Black Adam back then. It's like, wait a second. Why is he saying you guys better do something? Don't you know how to fix it? Because you were there when the first time this happened. But then you realize we don't know what's going on, but we know something's going on. He rescues the Flash, who, okay, some things are happening. I'm going to get into more in the next issue about what happened here because I don't want to spoil what's about to happen in the next issue. But some things happen, and then he gets captured, and he goes and he's hanging out with Black Adam in Kandahar, and he says, hey, tell me what's going on. Why don't you just go to the source of this? They say, oh, we don't know what the source of this is. Black Adam's response, and you got to give credit to the artists in here also. Black Adam's response is very interesting. So, while the endless winter may in and of itself seem very boring, it's like, oh, it's Ymir coming back and blah, 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 some stuff. It's like, who cares, right? It's the stuff that you're not looking at that's actually interesting. It's the blink and you miss it moments that make you say, wait a second, there's a bigger deal happening here. Also, I love that Landing in Mars give reference to the idea that even Flash going into his unconscious state and only seeing quite literally a glimpse of what's around him can name every single person he saw around him, even if it's like a half a dozen people or so. That was actually pretty cool. It seems like something weird, but then you're reminded it's the Flash. He's going to remember this stuff. So it's funny. A book that I want to say is boring is actually keeping me rather entertained with the stuff that we're not looking for. But it was looking for us. It caught me. So I had to read the next issue, and I'm kind of enjoying this. I gotta admit I am. Plus the art, don't sleep on this, man. The art is fantastic in this. Like, this is some solid art. Boom, I'm digging on this. Anyway, guys, I'm going to let that one go. I'm going to go and do this other review really quick. Go and check that one out. Hopefully it'll be shorter, but we'll see what's up. Like the video, watch an ad, comicbookuni.com. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.